All right, everyone, I'm really excited today because I have the new SEVR Broadhead. This is the 1.5 inch cut. This is the newest addition in their lineup. So SEVR Broadheads came out, I think, a couple years ago. Now, I don't know about you guys out there, but for me, for whatever reason, every time hunting season comes around, I get super excited to try out new broadheads. I've been bow hunting now for about 12 years, and I think I've only used the same broadhead 2 years in a row, a couple times out of those 12 years. So last year I shot the dead meat broadhead, I've shot the T3s, I've shot fixed blades like the Wasp drone, the shuttle, not the shuttle T-lock, but the, well, what is that thing called? The interlock stainless steel. I shot the Afflictor broadhead, expandable locking tube blade. So I always get pumped up to try out new broadheads. This year I want to try out the new SEVR. If you're not familiar with this broadhead, it's pretty cool. There's a couple features about it that really got me interested in why I wanted to try this out. So first off, this is a 2-blade rear deploying broadhead. For me, when it comes to expandable broadheads, I like a rear deploying broadhead. I think it takes less energy away, and I think you just get better penetration altogether when you have one of those. Also, I like that they did do a 1.5 inch cut for either, shooters with lower poundages, slower arrow speeds, or if you're hunting big game like elk and you want to be able to punch through a shoulder blade if that's the case, then the 1.5 inch cut's awesome. They do have a 2.1 inch cut, which is great for deer hunting. I'm gonna do a mule deer hunt in Utah this year, so the 2.1 is probably what I'll use for that. But I want to come out today and just do a first impressions and shoot these for the first time. What's really cool about this broadhead, I'll show you the blades here in just a minute, is it comes with a little set screw. Get a little close up of that little hole right in the middle. So you can take that set screw, put it in there, and that will prevent the blades from opening. So you can actually practice with the exact tip or the exact head that you're going to use on your hunt, which I think is pretty unique. So that's a big plus in my book. Like I said, it's a rear deploying broadhead. You can see on the front here, you've got these big wings. And what I like about these is that they're big enough that there's no doubt in my mind that as this broadhead is going into an animal, those wings, or whatever you want to call those, are going to catch and do a great job of pushing those blades open. So it does not take a lot of pressure to get those to open, which is nice. So it's not going to take away a lot of energy from the broadhead as it's going in. And what's unique about these broadheads, it's a locking design. So once they've opened, I actually can't get those to go back in because they overlap a little bit. And what's another cool thing about these is that once they open, the blades can actually pivot. So if this is going through an animal, and let's say you hit a rib, well, instead of deflecting off that rib and possibly missing vitals or not getting the penetration you would want, it would actually hit the rib, deflect or go straight through, and then once it passes that bone, the blades will push themselves back to being open evenly, and you continue your penetration. So it's pretty cool what SEVR's doing here. Pretty unique design. I'm excited to try these out. Again, it's a 1.5 inch cut. So I'm gonna take some warm-up shots. I'm gonna shoot at 50 yards with this, and I'm just gonna see if it matches with my field points, because they say field point accuracy, so I'm gonna test that. But take a couple warm-up shots, and then I'll get back to you and we'll shoot this. All right, I've taken some warm-up shots. I'm at 53.5 yards, just as where I put the deer target where I'm standing. But I'm gonna shoot 3 field tips, and then I'm gonna shoot the SEVR and see if it groups with the field tips. And hopefully I don't shoot fletchings or prick and arrow, but the broadhead's pretty slim, so I'm not too worried about it. But 3 field tips and then SEVR, let's go. Sorry for the weird noise coming off my bow. My string stop here actually fell off, so I've got it taped on, so it makes kind of a weird noise. But here we go. Okay, now SEVR Broadhead, 53.5 yards. First shot. pretty good. Let's go check it out. All right, well, you guys saw it. That was 53.5 yards. That was the first shot I've ever taken with the SEVR Broadhead. Again, I put that set screw in there so the blades do not deploy, which is awesome. So this broadhead's got to go through, clean out some of the foam that's stuck in there, but I mean, what more confidence do you want than that? You shoot a broadhead for the first time at 54 yards, it hits exactly where your field tips are hitting. This thing flew, it didn't make any noise, it was quiet. And yeah, man, I am pumped to hunt with these. I think with that blade design, with, you know, rear deploying broadhead, nice cut on contact tip, kind of a chisel tip if you want to call it that. Not the sharpest tip that I've ever seen, but no doubt that, you know, my arrows, I'm shooting a gold tip Hunter Pro 340 spine. My total arrow weight's just a little over 400 grains. I'm shooting about 275, 277 feet per second. So no doubt that thing's gonna punch right through bone. And I'm gonna come back and do a durability test, because what's awesome, last thing I'm gonna say, is that SEVR is one of the only companies that I'm aware of where you can buy one broadhead at a time. So you don't have to buy 3, you could buy 1, you could buy 2, you could buy 5, you could buy 10. And I think that if you buy, I think like 6 or 7 at a time, you get 1 free. If you buy 10, I think you get 2 free or something like that. So definitely go to SEVRBroadheads.com, check them out. I'm excited. I think there's gonna be a killer broadhead for this year, but stay tuned, because like I said, I wanna shoot these through some stuff and test out the durability. So that'll be up next.